Pakistan, girls are not allowed to study. So there's this one girl named Malala. She speaks up, but unfortunately she got shot on her head. But she recovered and gained attention to the mass. I admire her because she inspired so many people, not just in Pakistan, but to the whole wide world. So people are deserve to be educated, and the government shouldn't limit them on education, because education is important to the youth. It should not limit only to the boys. And also, she has the right to speak up for herself and for her country.
So the things that Malala does are one of those things that I never imagined of doing. It takes a lot of bravery and determination. And as a youth living in the Philippines, I do think that it is important for people like me. I do think it is important for people my age to speak up in what they believe in, to stand up for something, because we are the future. We see what's going on around us, and if we see something that's not right, then it is important to speak up, because if we don't take action, if we don't speak up in what we believe in, then nothing will change.
In our generation today, as the youth of the world, we aren't afraid to say our opinions on things. We tend to voice out everything we have to say without thinking that it would mitigate threats on us. Like Malala, who caught the attention of the world by her determination to stand against terrorism and propagate peace and equality in the world. As a Filipino youth, we should also adhere to the ways of Malala. We should stand for what is right to promote justice and equality to mitigate the possible effects of terrorism around us.
Growing up, I've always felt relatively safe. Of course, I've heard stories about terrorism. I've heard about 9/11. I know who the Taliban is. But after hearing Malala's story, I'm realizing again that terrorism is an incredibly prominent issue in the world. And so the question is, what can I do to help? As a youth in the Philippines, I'm seeing that the internet is incredibly powerful. And as of now, I don't think it's being used in a proper way. I see serious issues being made fun of, being made into these things called memes or jokes. And it's all desensitizing the problem, which is not what we want. We want to face it head on. And so what I can do is use the power of the internet to speak out what I believe in. And that is not to feed into the problem, but to fight back against it.
Okay, so as part of the youth, I truly believe that it is our utmost responsibility to be careful in the words that we use or say, especially on social media, because by spreading the wrong information, we are not only making the problem bigger, but we are not contributing to the world as a whole. So we should always be careful of the words that we say.
As a matter of fact, we should always be wary of the information we gather online, because not everything that we read and watch is true. As such, we should always verify with reliable sources by reading and analyzing the important points of an issue.
My reaction is very angry because a young kid doesn't deserve to get shot in such an early age by doing what she thinks is right. Yes, as young people, we should show that we are against terrorism and its acts, but also stay safe in the process. I admire the courage of Malala Yousafzai showed. It makes me feel disgusted that we have people like this in this world. I admire her for being brave and facing things like this, trying to make a difference in such an early age, and I hope that she continues what she does despite of all the things that she has faced and all the things that she have witnessed.
So all Malala wanted to do was to spread the right to education for all girls in Pakistan, and by doing this she was threatened and shot by the Taliban. After recovering, she was able to gain full confidence and strength to continue this action, and as part of the youth, we know that this action would actually be one of the main results in changing and making this world a better place to live in.
Malala's story made me sad because she didn't deserve what she had been through. She was shot in the head just because she was standing up for her right. Despite this, I'm glad that she survived the incident. However, it's so sad that there is still no equality in this world.
We, as Filipino citizens, and as the youth of our country, should make Malala an example of how to effectively voice out and propagate peace in our land to be able to mitigate the effects of the threats in terrorism.
As a Filipino, I am deeply saddened by the acts of terrorism that are happening around the world. And under our Philippine Constitution, I believe that as Filipinos, we must all act to battle these acts of terrorism and rise up in power, because what better way to stop terrorism than stop it ourselves? Because we have to be united as Filipinos in order to help everyone else in the world.